there's a whole debate in the skate community. Is skateboarding a sport or is it not?
Yeah,
that's like a massive debate. Personally, I see it as a little bit of both. I mean, it's in the Olympics, so it has to have some sort of like sport. But how people like arguing like, how can you like score the skateboarding? Because it is all a lot of personal preference. So they're just doing like hardest trick, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's bollocks, because that's not what skateboarding is about. But to a lot of people, that is what skateboarding is about. But yeah.
What do you think? Do you think it's about
to me,
the hardest trick, or is it just about expressing?
Nah, to me it's not about the hardest trick. I think having the hardest tricks is cool, and it's definitely very impressive. But to me, I don't know, it's just fun. A lot of people will express skateboarding as an art. They'll say it's like an art. You'll go about it's like like a body art, kind of like dancing. It's kind of like dancing, but you're dancing with this wooden thing that's trying to hurt you the whole time.
3, 2, 1. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Jeoffrey Sarpong podcast. Today I'm here with Campbell. Campbell, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yeah,
how you been, man? How's your day?
I've been good today. Just been working. Played a couple of video games before coming out, and that's the extent. That is the extent of today.
I'm good. I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah, I'm glad we're in this nice romantic little alleyway.
Little date. It's a little date spot, but yeah, I'm glad to have you here, man. I've been wanting to do this a long time. I think like skating is so cool. Like I've always said, like skating is so cool, and like you're like the most like insane skater I know. So I was like, yo, I gotta get this guy on the podcast. And so I'm so glad that you suggested, and I'm so glad that you made time today. So yeah, first off, so start off. How do we know each other?
We know each other through mutual friend. Yeah, we know, through Connor we know each other. I can't actually remember the first time I met you.
It's definitely in the shed, isn't it? Somewhere.
Definitely in the shed.
Yeah.
In the shed, and then football. Yeah. I think football's what solidified it, probably, to be honest. Yeah, football.
Yeah, fucking teammates now, innit?
Yeah, well, yeah, we were on the same team. We were. Yeah. Football.
Well, anyway, so I'm so glad to have you here. I wanted to get you on here to talk about skating and skating culture. I've been so fascinated by it. Obviously, it's a thing that I've been interested in, but I've not really had the chance to really go into depth or even like explore it. You know, obviously through you and Connor and everyone else that I hang out with, you guys are like massive fans, and so you show me videos and I'm like, what the fuck, that's so cool. And I tried to skate badly, like really badly, but everyone starts badly. Exactly. So like but yeah, no, I wanted to get you on here to talk about skating. So actually you made a good point to start that. Let's start there. What was it like when you first started skating? Let's start there. When did you start learning skating? Do you remember like the first time you saw someone skating that you wanted to skate yourself? And what was that like? What got you interested in skating at the beginning?
Well, I had a really good mate back in Hong Kong called Joe. And he skated shout out Joe, for real. He was like my best mate in Hong Kong. I used to chill with him all the time. But he skated way before me, because he used to live in the UK, and he only moved to Hong Kong in like year 5, I think. And then I didn't really talk to him till year 7 when we moved schools and everything. But I always knew he skated, and I've always seen him, and he was just such a lovely guy. I knew him before I knew he skated. And he was like, oh yeah, I skate. And I'd always been like, skateboarding was just cool, so I'd always watch it, and I always love all the art that comes out of skateboarding and everything, because back in the day I was really big into like drawing and like all the art. So I was like, oh no way, you skate. I was like, nuts. And he showed me his clips, and I didn't really realize how good he was. And this is back when we were like 12, 11, young. And I did have a board. My parents gave me one for my birthday, but I'm not gonna lie, I was like definition of a poser. I would just like bring it around, grab it, and I was small enough to like, I would skate on my butt on the skateboard. I bomb hills on my butt like but through him, and then I didn't touch it. I always thought it was cool, wasn't that good at it, and I was skating with Joe, who's nuts. He was sponsored by Vans, New Balance, and this Asia, but
like the country?
Yeah, because you know, like on Instagram, for example, be like New Balance Asia. And then, literally. So he was sponsored by them, and then this local Cantonese brand called Victoria, which is sick. I love them. But yeah, then I can't remember what happened. I liked it, but I just wasn't devoted enough to get into it. And then I moved here, and I kind of forgot about skating for ages. And then my mate, one of my first mates I made when I moved here. He was like one of the first people I invited around to my house. We're like chilling, and then all of a sudden, like, just conversation went stale and was just silent in my room. But I had like my old skateboard just in my room. He like pointed to it, he's like, "You skate?" And I was like, "Not really. I could do like an ollie at the time." So I was like, "Not really," but like, my dad has a skateboard as well. He skates as well, actually, a little bit. So I was like, "Oh, my dad's got a board. Do you just want to go out and like fuck about on the skateboards for a bit?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And like, literally just kick-started it all. I started skating with him. He unfortunately doesn't skate anymore, which a lot of people who I do, or I used to skate with, they all fall off, which is annoying. But like,
why do you think they fall off though? Is it because it's hard or what?
It's a lot of injuries. For Ollie's sake, I know he's really big into rugby. Like, he does it like properly. And he just was the most unlucky guy with rolling his ankle. So he just, I think he like signed a contract or saying something that he actually couldn't skate while he was like during the season, or while he was with the club he couldn't skate because he just like hurt himself too badly for it. But yeah, I just got back into it from there, and I don't know, we got like a little community going because more people from our school started joining in, and we all would just go out and skate, and we were all the same level, which is what made it better. We'd all be like, and then suddenly someone will get like a pretty good ollie, it'd be like, "No way, fuck off." We're like, "Fuck off." We're like, "That's nuts." So I gotta do that shit now. I was like, I know it's possible because he just did it, and this guy's like a fucking idiot, so if he can do it, I can do it. So yeah, and just from there it blossomed, and then just I met more people, just random. It's such a good conversation starter. If you see someone skateboard and go up, "Yo, you skate?" "No way." And then it just goes straight from, which is, I guess it's like with anything. But like, it's cool because like with other stuff, like say, I don't know, you're massive into ping pong or something. Like if you walk down the street, you would never know if someone's into ping pong. But with skateboarding, they got the skateboard.
They have a massive board and you can tell straight away,
exactly.
right?
So you're like, "No way, you skate." And yeah, but that's probably where I picked it up from. And then, Hong Kong, dropped it for ages, and then picked it back up in England and haven't looked back since. To be honest,
that's amazing. Okay, and like so you're talking about the fact that you did it with your friends and stuff like that. At the beginning, what were some of the challenges? And like, so treat me like I'm a beginner. So I'm literally a beginner in skating, and I have no idea what it takes to feel like you want to skate and then go through that stage. I have some idea of like, I want to do this thing, but going and actually doing it like consistently and like the beginning. Do you remember what it was like when you first started and the challenges and stuff that you faced and you had to overcome and shit like that?
Starting off, the challenges with skateboarding is obviously just hurting yourself. Because it happens a lot. And skateboarding is one of the most frustrating things I've done in my life. Because it is just like, you'll like watch YouTube tutorials and stuff and be like, "It's so easy. You just hit the board down and slide with your foot and lift your knees and that's it." And you'd be like, "Yeah, that's literally all it is." And you go out and try to, and it just doesn't happen.
You try to just fall over straight away.
And it's like, "I don't want to do this anymore."
That is showing in the video.
It's like, "No, I don't want to do this anymore." Yeah, it's like, but yeah, I guess, that is annoying, and then actually sticking with it, because if you don't actually like skateboarding, you're not going to stick with it, because just the trials and tribulations to actually getting good, it's just like, if you're not really into it, it's just not worth it. Why hurt yourself over
100%.
it? So, yeah.
So from a technical point of view, what was the hardest thing you have to get? What's the hardest thing you have to get through the head at the beginning? Like, obviously, so thinking of like, I started like standing on the board. Like, is it like just how you stand on the board? Is it how you roll while you're standing on the board? What's the hardest thing at the beginning to like learn?
Well, like actually getting comfortable on a skateboard, I'm gonna be so real, I can't remember, because I did that when I was like such a little kid and everything. When I came back after not touching skateboard, I just knew how to stand with it. But I know that is something that people struggle with, is just like getting comfortable on the board. And all it is bro, just get on your board more. Like, the more you're on it, the more comfortable you're gonna get. There's nothing really to it. Like, I guess
to get used to like the weird center of gravity.
Yeah. And you can always say like, just keep your knees a little bit bent and like just focus on it. But you're not gonna know until you get it. You have to figure it out for yourself. Which is a lot of skateboarding. That's all like, you have your own way of doing it.
When you say a lot, how much time did you use to skateboard as like until you got like fucking comfortable on the board? Did you just do it like every day?
Well, I was, but yeah, I would go out like every day. Like, I think when I went traveling to Asia, I went for a month, and that was the longest time I have not been on my board.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's the longest time I've not been on my board since I picked it back up.
Holy
like,
fuck, really?
I will skate, like, I try skate every day if my legs are allowing me. which I'm noticing recently they haven't been allowing me as much. They've not been letting me as much. But no, back in the day, every day I'd be out, school done, I'll go out and skate and everything. So I just always be out, and that is the best way to. And I wasn't even like, well, I would be like, oh, I'm gonna get a kickflip today. Like I would be like that, but then I'd try a kickflip for like, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes, and then the rest of it was just dicking about with my mates, just doing random stuff. But just from dicking about, you just get better, just without even realizing it. You get good. But yeah, I'd say
just dicking about with your friends. Okay,
dicking about with your friends is probably the best way to do it. But then you've got to be into it. That's the thing. You got to be into it. You have to actually be on the skateboard.
You have to actually give a fuck when you're on it. Like actually care.
Yeah. Well, you can't not care because you'll hurt yourself. You have to like somewhat care, but then you can't care too much because then you get scared. Yeah, you start getting scared and being like, this could actually really hurt me. So it's like there's like a fine line of where you want to be saying, well, like, I care, but I don't care that much. I just do this.
Here's another question. What early on, what made you fall in love with skateboarding? What was the thing that once you started doing, you started like, obviously like the act of skating itself is really cool, and I can see that skateboarders fucking just love getting on the board and doing cool tricks. But what was that thing for you at the beginning? You're like, oh fuck, I really like that I can do this, or like I really like, just what is it about skateboarding that people love? You think?
Well, I think you're right. Skateboarding is just cool. Like I don't think maybe it's not for everyone, but for most people, I think just watching someone skate is just universally accepted as like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. So I always just thought I did, and early like graphics and everything, and all the art that comes out of it. I've always thought it's always been super cool to a degree. There are some really shit brands with really shit art, but for the most part, they're all pretty good. And then. I don't know. I always just think like how you actually move, like how your body ends up, like when you're like mid trick or something. I always just think it looks cool.
Really?
Like how you, not the board or like the flipping or anything,
but how you,
but like actually yourself. Like how you are like mid like kickflip down a stair set or something. Just how your body looks. I just think it's really cool. And then I don't know. I just think it's cool. Did it take
long for you to realize, or was it just like straight away?
I've always been into skateboarding like that, but when I was a younger kid, when I was skating with Joe, I still skate with Joe because he moved to the UK actually, so I still see him often. I saw him in Hong Kong when I went skate with him in Hong Kong again. Recently.
Full circle moment.
Literally full circle. I went out. I was like, I was like, I want to like come and skate with you guys, but I don't want to like lug my whole, because I went Hong Kong, Vietnam and Thailand, and I was like, I'm not going to be skating in Vietnam or Thailand. I don't want to bring my board with me. I was like, but if I just bring my trucks, like, can you hit me up with the deck? And he was like, yeah, I got you. So like, yes. So I went and I put my trucks in my bag and I went and he gave me a deck, and I literally only skate with them for one day, but I ended up lugging my trucks around for the rest of the time.
But
it was still worth it. That one day, it was still good fun. It was like, back in the good old days. It was good.
Do you have a memory of like when you first started like falling in love with skateboarding, when maybe you're like after a trick, or maybe when you first hit your first trick, you're like, oh fuck, I fucking love this shit. This shit is fucking, this is for me. Like you realize, like it was for you.
Well, I always thought skateboarding was fun, and then I would be chilling with like Connor and Ethan and Tyler and them, like, who they're all 3 years older than me, and I met them just as they finished their A levels, and I was still in school, and I always thought like for the first time I was like, yo, these lads are like way older than me, but they like actually like me. Like you can hear the guys in South Bank skating right now. I was like, yeah, like they actually like me. Like they're chilling with me, and like, yo, they'll call me out to come and skate with them. I always thought that was cool. I'm like chilling with older people, of course. When you're young, you always think that's cool. So that was always fun. And then I don't know. I think I did have a knack for it. I did have a knack for skateboarding. I can
tell, and that's the thing. Like, I can tell you have a knack for it, which is what I'm asking. It's like, if it was like, I don't know what else you would have been like drawn to if not for skateboarding. Or maybe it was like you were drawn to skateboarding early on, so you just like developed.
From what I'm not, I've just always liked skateboarding. I couldn't really give you a reason why. I just like it. I just think it's cool.
It's hard to ask someone what they love about something that they've always done, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just always done it. I've always think it's cool. It's also one of the most satisfying things I ever do. If he bolts a trick like down a stair set, like,
you get.
Reload that. It's so good.
Why is it a more satisfying thing? Go on, talk to me.
Well, because 9 times out of 10 you're not getting it first try, and when you do get it first try, that's an even better feeling. But 9 times out of 10 it will be a bit of a battle. You might not fall, but if you're not falling, it means you're not really committing properly. So you'll have that like mental battle, which is a lot of skateboarding, just trying to be like, bro, it's okay, you got this, just put your feet on it, you're gonna be fine, like you know how to do it.
What's that like? Talk to me about the mental barrier that people have to overcome for skating?
Oh,
Because I feel like I'm there, right? I'm at the place where I want to skate, but the mental barrier of hurting myself, I can't get past. I'm like, fuck, if I fall and I break my arm, I need my fucking arm.
Yeah, well, you know, like jiu-jitsu, how you do jiu-jitsu, you're not really that scared to like get choked out or
That's
anything,
true,
are you?
yeah.
It's just conditioning.
Yeah.
The more it happens to you, the more you
Yeah,
fall,
the more you get used to it.
It just becomes like, oh, that was just a bump. Whereas before it'd be like, oh, but now it's just like, bro, I've done it a million times, so there's
You
nothing.
get
So
used
it does.
to it, yeah,
But
true.
starting sucks. I'm not gonna lie, starting sucks. And the best way to do it is just don't be a pussy. Just
Don't
commit.
be a pussy.
Just commit.
Just
Just
commit.
commit.
Just commit to the fucking
But it is
stuff.
a lot easier said than done. It's so much easier said than done.
Alright, what would you say? What would you say are some of the things that people need to learn, and if they want to improve in skateboarding? So how do people improve in skateboarding? I know probably this guy's like a prodigy, so he's like, oh my god, I just do everything, it's so natural to me. But like thinking back, do you know, like, do you remember stuff that this like tricks or like technical parts where you're like, I gotta improve there? Like, okay, I need to learn how to like lean in or this shit, like shit that you just learned over time to actually like improve, and now you've got you going better.
Yeah, true. I think the main things to have in skateboarding are your fundamentals, which is like a kick flip or a heel flip. Fundamentals.
Teach me fundamentals.
Ollie,
Ollie.
which is just a jump off the ground.
Yeah.
Front side, which is a jump off the ground, you turn front side.
Yeah.
Backside, which is a jump off the ground, you turn backside. It's called backside because you can't see you when you turn because
Yeah.
you're going around your back.
Yeah.
And then you got shove, which is just a little flip the, like not flip the board, but like shove it around. You know.
So let's break it down. Let's break that down. So first one is Ollie. How difficult is an Ollie when you begin, when you start?
When you begin an Ollie is like once you finally get it, it's like you're the holy grail. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's hard because you'll do a lot of rocket ones, but once you start getting nice Ollies, it's kind of
So
like
Ollie is when you flip the board, or what?
no, Ollie's just literally a jump when you jump with the board and it just sticks to your feet and
Okay,
come back
cool,
down.
cool.
Yeah,
And how do you do that? How do you do
it
that?
is.
So you're rolling.
It is. Yeah, well, yeah, you're rolling. You don't have to be rolling for it either, but yeah, you will be rolling probably. Pop your foot down, depending if you're regular or goofy. Your back foot, one that's on the tail, and then as you pop, you kind of simultaneously slide up with your other foot at the front. But then as you're doing that, you're lifting your knees as well, because you got to remember, the board doesn't jump for you. You need to jump as well to let the board move with you. Otherwise, it's just not going to come with you. You need to allow it to get up. Lift your knees and get up.
Wait, and you're lifting your knees, you actually jumping, or you just lifting your knees?
No, you are jumping. You're jumping and lifting your knees. But a lot of it is a lot of people. I don't know. They just don't lift their knees. They don't get the concept of it. I see. But it's also just scary. It also just is scary to do, to get like because
It's like, fuck, I'm trying to fall.
it's like, why am I doing this, bro? I'm like torturing myself for no reason. What am I doing this for? But yeah, you got Ollie.
This is the second
Ollie,
like,
front side and back side, I'd say, or shove is what a lot of people go to next, which is just when you have the board and you have it like standing like this and you just shove it like literally just the other way around.
So you just
like that.
turn it.
Yeah, you just basically
turn your whole body.
No, you don't turn. You flick it like you pop it up and shove it with your feet, and then it turns underneath you.
Oh shit!
And
That's,
you land back. That's just shove. Yeah, but that's one of the beginner tricks as well. Like a lot of people actually will learn that before Ollies as well, because you don't have to like be stuck with it. You can kind of
do it. Whatever.
It's easier to like kind of look at and jump off of it.
So these are like beginner tricks, you're saying?
Yeah, these are like the fundamentals. They're not necessarily well, yeah, they are beginner, but they're not easy.
Yeah.
When you got front shove, which is the name as a shove, you just throw it the other way around, and then backside, front side, which is an Ollie. You turn backside, front side, 180.
So you're doing the same thing as you did before, but you're actually turning your whole body this time.
And all you're doing really is just swinging your shoulders, and your hips will follow.
All you're doing is just swing your shoulders.
You just swing your shoulders. It's just that easy. You just swing your shoulders.
Just get on the board and swing your shoulders, and it's.
Oh, come on, if you haven't got this now, bro, just give up. No, but it is literally it is. You just pop, swing your shoulders, and your hips will follow, and you come with. And then same for backside, but other way. And then once you got those down, then you need to get the monster kick flip or heel flip, depending on what you prefer, which is when the ball goes.
Yeah.
Which takes ages.
I was gonna ask, what's the hardest new skill to learn that for you that took you ages to learn?
I would say the thing that's gonna be longest learned was a tray flip, probably.
What's that?
Which is
I'll hold the mic for you if you want.
Does one of these.
What the fuck did you just do?
It goes 360 like that way, and also it's like a 360 shove and a kick flip together.
So your board just flips like that.
Yeah,
underneath your feet.
Underneath your feet.
When you have to jump, obviously, because you have to keep yourself above the board.
Yeah, you have to jump and lift your knees, and sometimes you'll get like a ninja kick, sort of. Like you don't really mean to do it. But like, you'll come up and you watch videos back. And, whoa.
And that's them trying to stay above the board so they can land back on the board.
Yeah. Get your legs out the way so the thing can flip, and then.
But is that like was the difficult part, like flipping it, like underneath your feet with your? What was it? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was difficult. And then once you finally get that down, it's like, shit, I need to get both my feet on this now. And then that's just a whole other roller coaster. Because that was the first like 360 trick where my board was spinning. Like, my board was doing like craziness. Yeah, I wasn't. I couldn't comprehend it. I'm like, what do I do? But that took me ages. But I got that, and that's really good fun. That's one of my favorite tricks now as well. Because once you get it, this is the thing with skateboarding, is once you get it and you understand it, you've done it so many times, it's like second nature. Yeah, you can just throw it out. Like, yeah. And then that's when skateboarding starts getting fun. Because I talk about the fundamentals. Those are the hardest to learn, in my opinion. Because there's no like, well, that is tutorials on like YouTube or something. But there's no like every other trick that comes after that. It's just a combination of all of those. Yeah. So it's like you can kind of piece it together in your head, like what you're meant to do. But with the fundamentals, it's like, shit, I've never done this before. Like I don't really know. It's like I have no idea what I'm doing. But everything else is like, oh, yeah, it's like a kickflip and a back can do that.
Yeah,
a backside flip.
Yeah, it's in your mind. You kind of know already.
Yeah, it's like I can do one or the other. Let's try them together.
Was that the biggest thing you did early on? You're like, fuck, I got it now.
Biggest thing I did early on was a kickflip. Oh my god, that I remember like actually grinding that one out.
Like, where were you when you did that? What was it like? Do you remember the day?
I actually do. I actually do. I was out. I was probably like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And I was just out. I went by myself. Yeah. Because I was getting really close to landing it, and I'd been like going out for days and days, just over and over.
Just keep on doing it.
Just keep flipping over and over, which that isn't that fun, but I found it really fun. And then I remember I landed it. There is a video. I have a video of it somewhere.
Yeah, please send me the video.
I will have to try find it. It's not on my camera roll. I'll have to like scroll through.
I mean, send me all the videos you have. I just want to put it out so people see like you doing some of the shit that you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, sweet. Yeah, I'll send you some. I'll send you some clips.
Yeah.
But I remember getting it, landing on it, and I was like, no way. And I ran back into my house because it was literally like 5 seconds from my house. Yeah. And I was like, Dad, you have to come and film this for me. I was like, you have to come. He was like, okay. So I dragged him out, and he was standing there filming it for me. And then I got it again, and my hands just go. Like, yeah. And I look at the camera. Oh! I'm like, no way.
Got like on top of the wall.
Yeah, and I'm like, no way. And then once you actually land one, it's like, I done it. And then I'll go and I'll be like, all right, just do what you did before. Just do what you did before. And then you start getting excited, and then you start landing them more, and then eventually start getting consistent with it. And then, yeah. Because kickflip, one of my favorite tricks as well, just of all time. I like them, but also just like watching other people who are really good at kickflip. It's simple, nice and simple.
What does it look like?
Classic. It's a
Oh, okay. But then the whole board goes.
Yeah, the whole board does like a 360, and
then you just go.
Yeah, and then you land back on it.
Oh man, that's so clean, man.
You know, it's just such a nice, simple, clean looking trick.
Yeah,
and it just gets the job done.
Yeah.
That
was the biggest achievement.
I think I would say early on, and then tray flip also was an absolute milestone, because tray flip I would say is like the start of like hard tricks, where like, oh, I'm starting putting everything together. That's where that comes. So I remember getting a tray flip and be like, oh. There's also a video of me getting a tray flip.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I remember showing it to my parents because I landed it. Yeah. And I was like, fuck! I was like, no way! Hands behind their head, and I remember muting the video and showing it to my parents, like, look what I got. Where's the sound? I don't know, just didn't record the sound.
Because you were just swearing and shit. What was so obviously you're talking about getting into like the culture, and like when you start skating regularly, what was it like when you started coming to like the skate parks and like you getting involved in the community and like showing other people, like you mentioned, showing your parents your skills? I feel like that must be one of the best parts about skating, because you spend so much time by yourself learning how to skate, just going over and over again, doing the same things over and over again where no one really can see it. But then you get to a stage where you're like, okay, fuck, I can actually do this, and then you show other people and you're like, do you get it? Do you see how fucking cool what I just did? And then I can imagine when you're around other skaters, they really get it, like, oh fuck, you just did that thing. Or they'll be like, oh, like, do this, do it like this. What was it like getting into the community and like getting around other skaters that like love the same shit you do?
I think Yeah, it was sick. Luckily, I haven't really had to skate by myself all that much. Although I will go and skate by myself because I enjoy it. I have been blessed to always have been skating with people, and they've all been like my level, so it's been like a group progression sort of thing. But getting into the community, it was my community was just the people I used to skate with, and then I started getting into skate videos. I'm really bad. I don't watch as many like skate parts or like skate videos as I should. I'm quite
what does
not
that
knowledgeable.
Mean? Like you skate all the time.
Yeah, I skate all the time. I'd rather skate than watch it, you know. Yeah,
matter.
But watching it is nuts because when you like understand it and you'll see someone like throw down some mad thing, you'd be like, how? You'd be like, how is that actually possible? And then on the off chance if like you actually manage to go see that spot that they hit, and then you look at it and it's always 20 times worse in person. You look at it like, yeah, I don't know how the fuck he did this shit. Like that's nuts.
Here's a question. Sorry to interrupt, but I really want to know this. Who's the best skater you've seen like live, like seen do a crazy trick?
Well, I also was blessed to go to Copenhagen during the Copenhagen Open, which is like, I guess some like big skateboarder event. They get a bunch of pros to go. They hold like competitions. Like people come out and it's just good fun. And I remember they did like in Copenhagen. I can't remember the name of the park, but it's this big park. It has like a vert ramp. It has like 3 different bowls, which I slept in homeless one night. But like Oski was skating them. Oski's nuts. I saw Oski in person. He just does like fat shit out of.
I have no idea
he's on like Nike. He has a Nike shoe, which is the tick is like a shark coming up, and it's one of the few Nike shoes where like they don't have the tick, but the shark looks like the tick. It's quite cool. But he just does like nuts bowl stuff. He's not my favorite skater ever, but like he's nuts to watch in person. And then same, like I saw Jack O'Grady in person. I saw like Mason Silver, but he won Skater of the Year one year, but he like did 0 tricks, so he was just teasing us.
Who was your favorite skater of all time? Hard question, I know.
That is a really hard question.
Alright, give me like 3 or 4 that you really like.
3 or 4 that I really like. I do like Jack O'Grady. I think Jack O'Grady is really cool.
Who's Jack O'Grady? I have no idea who these people are.
Oh, he's some like Australian guy.
Australian.
Yeah, he skates for Passport, and he just hits like big rails, big grinds, does like big fast air sets. It's more like he doesn't really do like lines and stuff. He does more like just big one shots.
No
that's
worries,
fine. That's fine.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Alright, cool.
This is what happens when you have a podcast. People just come and tell you when they're closed. Anyway, keep going.
That's fine. Yeah. So yeah, he's nuts. I like E2 as well. E2 Torbin. I've probably butchered his last name. But he's sick. He is Swedish, I think. I don't know. He's cool. He's also I know he sounds Japanese, but he's not. No. He's like the blondest guy I'll ever see. But he also just recently got moved onto Passport, which was an interesting move.
What? So Passport is like a
Passport's like an Australian brand, yeah. Okay. But yeah, they do cool stuff.
So talk to me about that. So these brands, they will hire skaters to skate for them, and it's like the better skater you are, the better brand you can get to, or what?
Yeah, sort of. It's like yeah, pretty much. You can go like sponsored and stuff where like just get sent free shit. Maybe if you're lucky you'll get paid for a couple clips. But yeah, you'll go like pro. Going pro is like you made it because you get a whole board. Like the company will make a board for you. It'll have your name on it. You get whatever graphic on it. They normally don't tell people either when they've gone pro. They'll just be like, oh, we're going to the pub. And you go to the pub and then everyone's there and you have no clue. And it's like, surprise! And like holding your pro deck up and everything. Amazing. And it was like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Yeah, and it's nice. I can imagine that's probably one of the best feelings ever.
Best feelings, man. I can imagine. Yeah, you worked so hard to get there.
Yeah, exactly. And then just getting surprised with it one day.
Yeah,
like, oh my god, yeah. And then seeing like the deck in person. Oh yeah, nuts.
What's the one skate brand you would love to join, or if that was for you, what would you love to be part of?
I think I like Passport. I think Passport's really cool. I think they got good graphics and they got good decks and they got a good team. But like Tom and Connor always say they see me on Baker, which is like Andrew Reynolds' brand. Kada did a lot from Andrew Reynolds. Tony Hawk's son skated for Baker as well. Tony Hawk's son, Riley Hawk, skated for him. Very different type of skaters, but he's still sick. Yeah. But
who's that? Sorry, who's that 12-year-old just like apparently insane at the she's like at the Olympics now?
Oh, is it
have no idea.
Maybe the Brazilian girl.
I don't know. I have no idea. And all I know is she's 12 years old. She's super good at skating. She's like the best new thing that's out. And like she's American, maybe. Maybe she's American. Maybe
American. Sky Brown.
I don't know. Is she good?
I don't really know. I know. No, they are. I do know they are good. They're nuts. They're just little girls that just shred.
Just crazy.
Younger than me, which is nuts. Like, because I know. Oh God, I can't pronounce her name. Her name's like Rayleigh. If you know, she came like third, I think, at the Olympics. Yeah. But she's nuts. She's like 16 or 17 or something, competing in the Olympics for skateboarding, just hitting massive ass rails and others. It's nuts. Yeah.
Now here's another question. I was talking before about the people that you start skating with and the people that you grow when you're on your skating journey. What are some of the kind of people that you think are drawn to skating? Like I know we were talking about before we started. Like I know there's not a specific type of people, but I think like there's certain type of people who are drawn to skating because that just fits their personality. They're like risk takers and they're like achieving big wins or like whatever that is. Do you think skating attracts a certain type of people? And if so, what kind of people do you think are drawn to skating?
Honestly, skateboarding draws everyone. From like when I go to the skate park and everything, all walks of life skateboard, which is also so cool. Because you can talk to you can like talk to everyone, and you got that common thing skateboarding, and then obviously that branches out into other stuff. But yeah, seriously, all walks of life into skateboard because there's no one owns the thing. Yeah. So yeah, of course, and I mean it's not like crazy bad to get into. I mean buying a skateboard can be expensive,
especially if you keep breaking it.
Especially if you keep breaking it, yeah. Especially if you keep breaking it. But yeah, and all walks of life. But yeah, typically you will get like a lot of it is like 14, 15-year-old boys who think it's really cool and get into it. Which I was there. I've been there, done that. But yeah. To be honest, everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Here's another question. By the way, I think it's so cool. I've been peppering you with questions, but honestly, like I think it's so cool. I can't relate on the level you're talking about, but I have the same excitement for football. Like I have the same excitement. Like I understand what you're saying.
Anything about football, really?
But like when you're speaking about like young people who are coming through, you're like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like teams that people go into, you're like, oh, that represents them. Yeah, true. You know what I mean? It's like this. It's literally the same thing, and I'm relating on that level. I'm like, fuck, man. Like I can really see what you're saying because I do believe like, especially when you're starting off. Like when I started playing football. You're right. I had no idea when I started falling in love with football. It was just like that. I just clicked. It just like. You just remember you're just always doing it. You just remember always doing it. Always being outside playing with friends, like you were saying. All of you. As well. But I mean, I'm okay. I'm as good at football as you're as good at skating. You're probably better than me at skating as I am at football.
Pretty good at football.
You're pretty good at skating. But no, it's like, and it's true though, because it's like you feel like you're part of this group and you just keep improving. One question I wanted to ask you, what do you think skating means to people? And it's a difficult question to ask, but essentially what I'm trying to find out is like what, like obviously people start skating and they just skate for the fun of it, and maybe you don't even think about it that deeply, but I feel like skating represents something for the people who skate, and they do it because either it's like it is for the love of the game, it's for the love of the fact that they get to skate, but also like just hanging out and like being drawn to skating with people and hanging out the kind of people that they hang out, the kind of, because it's not like people in business suits. People aren't like stuck up when they're skating. They're more like relaxed and chill. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. You can tell me about it. But like, yeah, what do you think skating means to people?
Well, for everyone, I don't know, but for me at least, for me at least, it's well, it is like a good. There's a whole debate in the skate community. Is skateboarding a sport or is it not? Yeah, that's like a massive debate. Personally, I see it as a little bit of both. I mean, it's in the Olympics, so it has to have some sort of like sport. But how people like arguing like, how can you like score the skateboarding? Because it is all a lot of personal preference. So they're just doing like hardest trick, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's bollocks, because that's not what skateboarding is about. But to a lot of people, that is what skateboarding is about. But yeah.
What do you think? Do you think it's about the hardest trick, or is it just about expressing?
Nah, to me it's not about the hardest trick. I think having the hardest tricks is cool and it's definitely very impressive. But to me, I don't know, it's just fun. A lot of people will express skateboarding as an art. They'll say it's like an art. You'll go about it's like like a body art, kind of like dancing. It's kind of like dancing, but you're dancing with this wooden thing that's trying to hurt you the whole time. But literally. yeah, I don't know, it's so good. And I think the perseverance of like what makes skateboarding is like, you know, you persevere, you just persevere until you finally get it. And I think so much of that you can also bring into real life. It's like, if I just keep trying, I can hit my head against this wall as much like as I want, or as much as possible. If I just keep trying, I will break through at some point. If I just believe in myself and I know I can do it, and that has helped me a lot just in life. I go like, well, if I can do it in skateboarding, that is a lot harder than what I'm doing right now. Yeah, so you can bring it like a lot of it to that. And I think there's a lot of soul in skateboarding, because if you just didn't want to get the trick, you just wouldn't put yourself through that. So there's a lot of like the celebrations of when people land, yeah, it's like, oh, it's so good.
I can imagine, man. Okay, what are the you said perseverance, what other emotions do you think people who want to skate, what other like things do they have to have? Like you said perseverance, is it like fear, like you can't fear? Is it like basically what I'm trying to get at is like what are some of the things that you think people can learn from skating they can apply to life?
Well, I think there is fear in skateboarding. Trust me, I've shit myself so many times. Like looking at a stairs or something, like, don't want to do this right now. I was like,
might break my head this time.
Ooh, little mouse. Little mouse. I'd be like, oh, don't want to try this right now. I was like, I've started it though, so I've got to end it somewhere. It's either I hurt myself, or it gets too dark, or I get it and I go, or I just give up. But that sucks, because that will keep me up at night. I'd be like, I can't believe I just walked away from that. Yeah, like I can't believe I just walked away from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh man, it's just fun. It's just fun.
I can imagine, man. I can see, man. I can see in your face, man. You just like fucking.
I could talk about it all day. I really could talk about it all day. This is a good excuse for me to just chat about it
and
without someone telling me to shut up. Yeah.
It's a good for me excuse to find out more about. Okay, here's another question. Go on, no, sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, I was gonna say, yeah, fear is a big part of skateboarding. Skateboarding is scary, but it's about that overcoming of the fear, going through, you know, slowly just becoming sure in yourself, and then as you do that, you'll just start getting more confident in yourself as well, because you're like, I've done this before. Not necessarily the same trick, but like, I've been through this road before, I've done this before, like I know I can do it, I know it's within me to do it. So you just got to keep hitting it, and then that overcome of fear, I don't know, I think it's also really beautiful.
What have you learned about fear from skateboarding, you think?
It's scary. 9 times out of 10 you build it up in your head way more than what it actually is. Because I feel like everyone does that as well. Everyone will build something up in their head, and then you'll finally do it, and you'll be like,
it wasn't that
bad. Yeah, I'll be like, that wasn't that bad. I'll do it again now, yeah, you know? And it's, I don't know, it's like that. Until the times where I actually don't want to do it again, I'll be like, fuck that, I'm never hitting that shit again. That's done. I'm never going back to that.
The fear is real, guys.
The fear is real on that sometimes. I look at it, I was like, alright, sweet, bye, never fucking looking at you again. So I'll take my clip and that's it. But yeah, I guess that's what fear is in skateboarding.
Thank you so much. That's a really, really well put, and I agree, 100% agree with you, man. What are some of the misconceptions do you think people have about skating and also skate culture? You know, like I feel like older people, they look at younger people with a misconception, and I think especially when it comes to skaters, because you guys are just free, you fucking skate on the street, you skate at the train station, you skate wherever you want, because you guys are free. But most people look at it as like, they have a misconception about what kind of people you are. But what kind of misconceptions do you think people have about skating, whether it's getting into it, or about the culture, or even the people that skate?
Well, I think there is definitely a lot of people think, oh, look at these lazy bums just like skating. Yeah, literally look at these lazy bums just skating and smoking weed, which,
I mean, to be fair,
kind of right, but it's more than that. Like, I do get off my arse and do stuff like that is a big thing. But then it's also like, bro, how on earth could we be like that if we're throwing ourselves down and like putting ourselves through all of that? It's like, no, bro, exactly. I got way more courage and determination than you. Exactly. It's like, that's a big one. Skate culture, I think it's because the way people dress, and skateboarding is quite like gnarly, I guess, and people are just like,
just chill,
not that smart, just chill, you know. My legs need to move somehow. I'm not gonna do it in like a suit pants. So there's a lot of that, like, I can't work hard, I'm just lazy and everything. I get a lot of work. I stupidly said, like, oh yeah, I skate, I was showing the videos, and like, oh, Campbell, you're not working. And I was like, bro, I've just made like 50 coffees in a row, what are you talking about?
And also, if they saw you trying to land a skill, they'd be like, oh, okay, no,
exactly.
This shit is real. Like, they actually go through a lot of shit.
I think, but I think those misconceptions are slowly leaving though. Well, actually, not even slowly. I think they're quite, like, leaving quite quick, because I know especially during COVID, skateboarding picked up a lot, and it was a big thing. And then I feel like now it's starting to die down a little bit. Not that much. It has definitely boomed. So I think people, and now it's in the Olympics as well. So yeah, it is changing people's minds about it, which some people like, other people don't. Because a lot of people want like, no, I want like this cool community of like just skaters.
Underground.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't want like little kids being like, yeah, it's like, no, bro, I want like all the cool people in it. Understandable, I get that part of it too. But I think the Olympics is doing good things for skateboarding, as well as bad. It's all about how you look at it, really.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, in my opinion, I don't think it hurts to have skateboarding in the Olympics. I think it is cool.
I think it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's fun to watch. At least,
exactly.
so.
Like I feel like you want people to see the cool shit you guys do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what better stage to do it on than the Olympics?
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Speaking of, just finished, right? Did it just finish?
I have no idea, man. I have not been keeping up this shit.
Just finished or ongoing as we speak? Don't know yet.
Either one of them, which of course is true.
All I know is China's #1 right now. Big up China.
China's always #1. We all gonna come. All of us are gonna start big up China. Last question on skating. You're right. We could talk about skateboarding all fucking day. But yeah, what do you think? What's the future of skateboarding? What do you think is gonna head? Do you think it's gonna die down in a couple of years when everyone stays at home and just AI takes over? Or do you think it's going to pick up because people want to go outside more and do the cool stuff? What do you think is the future of skating? There's no right answer.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't time travel, so I couldn't give you an exact answer. In my opinion, oh, bro, I don't know. That's actually a really hard question. I think, well, it can go either two ways. Either because it's been the Olympics recently, it's just had its second appearance in the Olympics and everything, and it's just, like, big up on that. People will get into it. I think there potentially could be another big boom of it because cool, on the big stage now, like, it's more readily available. Whereas like back in the day, you wouldn't just like, oh look, it's skateboarding, like on TV. You'd like go out and look at it for yourself.
Yeah, you'd find it for yourself. Yeah.
I mean, in my case, just YouTube. But yeah.
But like the brands are becoming bigger. They're getting more money.
Brands are becoming bigger, bro. Look at Supreme. Literally. Supreme is a skateboard, but Supreme's always been big. But Supreme is a skateboarding brand. Too, it is a skateboard. Palace as well. Yeah. A lot of people don't know Palace is a skateboarding brand, which blows my mind a little bit. But yeah, Rip and Dip.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a big one.
Kind of. But a lot of people know. Palace, yeah. Rip and Dip's the little white cat going like all the time. You must have seen it before.
I must have seen it.
You will recognize it if you saw it. But yeah, that's skateboard. Yeah, there are tons of like big clothing brands, which are actually just skate brands that people don't know about. So yeah, maybe that. But that's always been a thing. Skate clothing has always been like, from what I think at least, widely accepted as like, yo, that's cool clothing. But I mean, personal preference.
No, but I agree, man. I feel like skaters, Supreme and Palace were like fucking universal because of that. Because everyone just started realizing, oh my god, these good people make actually cool brands. They're more than skating brands. People start thinking that, but they actually are cool because
they need to stick to their roots though. They can't go. Yeah, you gotta stick to your roots.
You can't go corporate, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can as long as you stick to your roots and produce the videos. I want to see the videos. I want to see a good team. I want to see some good decks.
Yes.
And then clothing can come after. Yeah. I want all of that first, and then you can
do the clothing thing after. Because at the end of the day, it's like that's what got you popular.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, stick to that because I mean, yeah, that's what we're here for at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Well, at least the people that you've made the brand for.
Exactly. And so speaking of roots, this crazy segue. Speaking of roots, let's talk about. I know that you grew up in Hong Kong. Talk to me about your upbringing in Hong Kong. What was it like, man? Like, what was it like to grow up in Hong Kong? How did it shape you? And like, what was your like everyday like? And what was it like living there?
Well, Hong Kong for me was just normal because I just grew up there. I was born in England, but I wasn't here long enough to really remember anything. So all my childhood is basically from Hong Kong, and I moved out there 2019 when I was 14. But I don't know. It is very different in a lot of ways, and it is similar in a lot of ways because it was governed by, it was taken over by like British and everything. So it is like there's Victoria Parks like in Hong Kong and everything. There's Victoria Parks. They speak English. It's an official language there. You can get around with just English, although Cantonese is the main language. And not a lot of the time. Well, a lot of the time you'll try to talk to someone in English and be like, what are you doing?
Like 5 years ago, you guys.
It's like, what are you talking about? Come on, man. Now they still speak it, and I think Cantonese people are. Yeah, I love Cantonese people. I just love the culture. I don't know. The food's good. The food's good.
I want to know because I've never met anyone from Hong Kong. like live there, you know.
Yeah.
It's such a secluded place. I always meet people from other places.
I wouldn't actually say it's a secluded place because I did go to an international school in Hong Kong. So it was like half of it was like Cantonese and the other half was everywhere from around the world. So when I first moved here, I had an American accent because that's just what an international accent is.
Yeah.
So I got taken the piss out for that, but then luckily I was at the age where I could still morph it. But now I think I'm stuck with this one now. So if I go to America at some point when I start taking the piss out of me for this accent, bro, I'm just stuck with it. There's nothing I can do there.
Just tune back to your American.
Exactly. Hey guys. Oh, that's not even good. That's not even good. But yeah,
what was it like? What was it like growing up there? Obviously you had international school, but like outside of the school,
I think
what was that like?
outside the school, I don't know. I feel like you could get up to a lot more mischief in Hong Kong because a lot of the time you would be like a little kid, and then you like talk English, and they all know Cantonese way better than English, so you could I don't know. It was just easier to get away with shit. You could be a naughty little bastard in Hong Kong.
And you did that, didn't you?
Yeah, I could be a little.
Tell me the story, if you don't mind, about you getting arrested.
Oh yeah. So it's a bit of a long story. I'll get the abridged version.
Yeah.
But basically, I got arrested in Hong Kong when I was 14 for
you're a felon. That's crazy. You're a criminal. I'm saying.
Well, no, I'm not. I didn't do anything. I got roped into this. But yeah, I got arrested for burglary when I was 14 in Hong Kong. I didn't get anything out of it because I didn't do anything. I got away scot-free. That's what they think at least.
Wow.
Yeah, I took all of it. Criminal mastermind, right? But yeah, no, I got arrested at my house like 1 a.m. They came to my house for allegedly stealing virtual reality headsets from this office, but that wasn't us. It was some other people who did it, but we kept our mouth shut because you just do when you're 14. But now, bro, I hate that guy. I would snitch on him 100 times now. Fuck that guy. He wasn't even a part of it. He got away scot-free. He's the criminal mastermind, bro. Fair play, actually. But yeah, so I had to deal with that. I spent 24 hours in a cell. I had to record a statement. I got let out on bail. I had to go to bail.
Oh my god.
It was long. My parents just did not trust me anymore.
That's the crazy.
That was the worst. It wasn't the police. It was the parents.
It's the parents, because they're gonna be like, "You're never going out again."
Yeah, and it literally was like that. When I left Hong Kong, bro, I couldn't even say goodbye to my friends because they were that strict. Because I was still going on when I first moved here. I had to fly back for bail. And I didn't really get a proper goodbye in Hong Kong, which sucks. And I wish I could redo that because I feel like they could have allowed me that one day.
Just a little goodbye. But they were like, "No, you're gonna get."
No, it's because I was on a criminal investigation. If they found me doing anything naughty again, basically, it was just I would be fucked. So fair enough. Better safe than sorry. But yeah, that was that. And Cantonese police are not that nice.
Really?
They're not that nice. But I don't think English police would be that nice either.
Yeah,
They did just arrest you, like.
Yeah, they're not trying to make friends with you.
Nah, yeah. But
also, go on. You're saying?
Oh no, I didn't really.
I was gonna say also you traveled around Asia too. Talk to me about that. That's one of the things. One of my life goals is travel around Asia and Africa. Like Asia seems weirdly more realistic to me. I've never been to Asia before. So you gotta tell me how it's like. What was it like traveling around Asia? I know a lot of people have done that, traveling around Asia, seeing things, going to the places. Tell me about the places that you went. What was it like when you were there? What was the culture like? And what you liked most about it? What did you miss about it?
So I went to back to Hong Kong for the first time in 5 years after leaving, which is really cool. I just got to go. That was more just like nostalgia. Go back. I saw my mates, because a lot of my mates will come to London and I'll see them one-on-one, but I never get that group setting anymore where all my friends are in one place. So that was really, really nice to do. I remember sobbing my eyes out again when I had to leave.
That's amazing.
But then it was so good. I loved it. And I might even try and move back when I'm older at some point. But I went to Vietnam, which I'd never been to, and Thailand, which I'd never been to either. With a mate. And
so how long were you in Hong Kong for?
Hong Kong only for 5 days.
Okay.
Only for 5 days.
That's a long time, but 5 days is good.
Yeah. But compared to did a week in Vietnam and then 2 weeks in Thailand. So compared to the other two, not as long. But it was fine. I got everything I needed to do there. 5 days was perfect, to be honest.
So in Vietnam, what's it like going to Vietnam? Like, how did you I just want to know this basic shit. How did you find a place to stay? What did you fucking eat? What was it like going outside and traveling? Like, what the fuck is that like?
So to find a place to stay, I would search up Vietnam hostels and then just look on Google. I found one. But I went to Hanoi, Cat Ba, and then I did the Hajang Loop, which, you know, Tyler, he's in Vietnam right now actually. Yeah, and it's his first time as well, I believe.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me.
And he's doing the Hajang Loop too, which is sick. They put you on the back of these bikes, and they do this 3-day or 4-day, depending on what you book, just a loop around like I want to say rural, Vietnam,
like
but like in the mountains and shit. So it's like you got to drive a long way to get there. So it is like these communities and everything, and they probably hate all the tourists coming around. But it is really cool to go and see just like crazy landscapes, and you be driving the whole day on the back of this bike, or you can drive if you want. But I don't know how to drive, so I just sat on the back. But so cool. Honestly, it is a bit life-changing going around. Like, I remember driving around the peaks of these mountains. It was like
is there one
sunset.
Moment you remember you were like, fuck,
yeah, it was literally, it was the last day, and we were driving back to like where we were staying, because you stay in a different place each night. We're driving back to where we were going to then catch the coach like back to where we like originally started. And I just remember going through, the sun was starting to set, we were on like the peaks of these mountains, just driving around. There's like a mountain there, sunset. I remember just sitting on the back. There was the day I brought my speaker as well, so the guy allowed me to put my speaker on, and I had it there I like tied it around my belt to keep it safe, and I was just playing my music. I remember just looking like, wow, like this is nuts, this is actually like crazy, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. I remember that was nuts. That'll probably stick with me as well. But Vietnam, very busy. Well, not that part, but at least Hanoi and Cat Ba, when I went, so busy and so hot, and the bikes there are insane, bro. It's like there's no road laws, they just drive wherever the fuck they want to drive. It's hot as well. It's so hot. But yeah, really cool. I would say if you want to go Vietnam and do stuff. And then Thailand was more like chilling out. You go chill on the beach. I remember I came in to this one island, Koh Tao, and I really wanted to like rent a bike, even though I've never been on one before and I have no driving experience at all. Like the closest thing I have is a bike, pretty much. And I remember walking in, and this person was like holding the thing like, oh, like, come rent a bike with us, And I went up, I was like, no license? And they were like, no license, it's fine. And I was like, I'll be back later, let me drop my bags off. And I went and I came back and we got bikes, and I'm like, right, so how do I use this thing? And she gave me a quick like demonstration, and then I had to like learn on the roads, like straight away. I shit myself, but it is quite easy. When you get into it, I remember like driving around this island, it was, Thailand, just chill out, go to some beaches, also nuts, like scenery and everything. Yeah, just, it is nice. It's a different part of life as well. It is literally the other end of the earth, so it works different and everything. There's a bit of culture shock, but I've always known both sides, so it's nothing crazy for me. For a guy like me, it's just nothing crazy. For a guy like me, just an international guy. It's just, but yeah, I've always just known that, and also especially Hong Kong, because Hong Kong is such a good mix of the two. I've always just known it like
What's
that.
The biggest difference? You obviously say it's so much different, but what's the biggest difference between those two cultures?
I think the people there are just more like chilled out, to be honest. It's just more of a relaxed vibe. But then also, I'm saying this like I was on holiday. When I was in Hong Kong, I was a kid, so my work was going to school. But yeah, it is more like a relaxed vibe. Not so much in Hong Kong. Hong Kong, they work. But yeah. I don't know. You have to go see for yourself. I've just always known it.
Bro, 100%, man. I have to go see for myself, man. And I can imagine, man. Like, just seeing you talk about it, how you're excited you are. I can feel it. I can feel the excitement, and I 100% agree with you, man. When I see it for myself, I come back and I'll speak to your bike, because I'm like, you were right, man. That fucking view, that view was insane. Yeah, that's how I want to do it, man. 100%. And bro, thank you so much for doing this. Like, I know that this guy's gonna come and tell us. 5 minutes. Closing now. Yeah. Okay, let's wrap it. Let's wrap it. Yeah. So okay, last question. I'll give you a chance to ask me a question before we end it up. Thank you so much for doing this, bro. I fucking love this. But yeah, I always give the chance for the person to ask me a question. If you have any on your mind currently.
Forgot about this.
2 minutes, boss. Go on.
Sweet.
If you don't have any, it's also fine. That's also okay.
No, it's fine. I'll think of one. Just give me a second or two. This is bad pressure getting kicked out. It's between Asia or football right now.
Go Asia.
Alright, go Asia. Well, where in Asia would you go, and why?
I was gonna say Vietnam just straight away, because of just what I just heard you talk about, and that experience with the bikes. I feel like I have to experience that once in my life, literally. But I don't know, man. I feel like Asia. I would want to do the whole of Asia. I want to do just like around Asia and just see what it's like. Because I feel like you're right. That culture experience, the difference in just feeling that culture, feeling what they see. I love that, man. I live for that. Like this is just a small. Like I feel like I have that within me. I always want to see different cultures, want to see different stuff, but I never get the chance to do it, which again is my fault. But yeah, man, definitely Vietnam. I want to go, but it'd be so cool if I went with you guys, man. That'd be fucking amazing, man.
To go again. I just need to rack up the money for it.
I mean, yeah, exactly. That's the first part. Rack up the money for it. There we go.
It's not that bad. It's a lot cheaper there. It's way cheaper.
I can imagine when you get there, but getting there's probably the hard part, right?
Yeah. The flights are expensive, and then accommodation's not that bad.
Yeah.
Food's not that bad. Doing stuff depending on what you're doing can be kind of bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot cheaper than here.
I can imagine, bro, and like 100% I want to do it. Yes, that's the answer to the question. I want to go Asia and see what Asia is saying because I fucking love that shit,
and
man.
what football team would you play for?
Liverpool. Big Liverpool fan, bro. I would only play for one. I'm not good enough, and if I was a fan, seeing me play, I'd fucking hate myself.
League, if you couldn't pick Liverpool.
Outside Liverpool, Wimbledon, because we're in Wimbledon. Come on, Wimbledon, bro. Thank you so much for doing this. We have to go. We're being wrapped up. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you for watching. Until next time, peace.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.